Hello, my name is Elad Zohar with Making Space in Music, and today we'll be talking about posture. So one of the most important things we need to talk about when we're talking about conducting is how we build our presence, and that comes from our posture. So part of that has to do with how we distribute our weight into our feet. It's very important to find a nice grounded foot positioning, and whether that be in first position turned out, first position parallel, second position turn out, whatever feels most comfortable to you, make sure that weight is evenly distributed between both feet. A lot of young conductors will find themselves swaying back and forth or sinking into one leg and one hip, and that doesn't look as professional as standing tall with both feet grounded. Now that we've talked about our lower body, let's talk a little about our upper body. We want to make sure that our spine is nice and elongated, our shoulders are back and down, our neck is elongated, and our chin is up, as opposed to something more collapsed and rounded. And so a simple exercise you can do is get up on your toes, put your neck or your chin up on a shelf, and allow your heels to come and meet the ground while trying to keep your chin up. What that'll do is keep your spine as elongated as it possibly can be. And one simple detail, just to make sure that you're not making this mistake, is make sure that you're not allowing the lower back to arch and the chest to poof out, which will put a lot more strain on you than just keeping the spine straight and the hips tucked, so that we have a nice, confident posture. So now that we've talked about the back and the feet, let's go ahead and talk about the arms a little bit. So when we're getting set, let's go ahead and imagine we're holding a beach ball out in front of us. It's a nice big beach ball, and the arms are in a relaxed position. Notice my shoulders are still down. And from here, I'm just gonna relax my elbows so that my arm still has a nice rounded, natural shape to it, but my elbows are relaxed out in front of me as if I was to conduct. Important details to recognize that as I stand here, my elbows are in front of my spine's plane, right? If this is the plane that my spine is in, my elbows are slightly in front of it. That's just because conducting back here, or even in line with the spine, is a little more uncomfortable and less efficient than if you were to be in front of that spinal plane. Now, that said, we never want to get to a point where our arms are really, really elongated and out in front of us. It's kind of like a sweet spot that you'll have to find for yourself. So now that we've talked about arms, let's talk about hands. It's the final little element, detail of our set position. It's a very, very crucial one. A lot of young conductors, you'll notice, will allow their fingers to spread or really, really tense up their hand shape, kind of a one or the other situation. And what we want to do is create as little tension as possible while still maintaining a clean hand shape. So what I'll say is try and keep your fingers together. One of the simplest mistakes is allowing your pinkies to splay out, but we want to make sure that the hands stay together. The thumbs don't need to do anything fancy. We definitely don't want to see any hamburger hands, but the most simple way to think about it is nice and relaxed. One more little detail to consider when we're standing tall is just our breathing. It's very easy to stand up tall and find a lot of tension in the body. And so as you continue to remind yourself to relax, the easiest tool to do that is to just breathe. So that's the basics of posture. This is a fundamental that I think applies across the board for all conducting and even performing in general. Make sure that you're practicing this as you go through the series and considering your posture and your breathing and all of those little things that we talked about today. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the series.